And for your information, the road length versus the land area, pinakamalit ho ang Mindanao. So nangangailangan ho siya ng additional road network, especially going towards production areas. So sana ho matingnan ulit.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I will personally look into it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I fully support the budget of Department of Agriculture.
Thank you very much, Representative Momo. Now we go to the minority and we recognize Deputy Minority Leader Jesus Bong Suntay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mula po sa Galunggong, babalik na naman ako sa bigas. Mr. Secretary, magandang hapon. Well, as we all know, one of the new programs which was initiated by the new administration is yung murang bigas, yung 20 pesos na bigas. Kanina po, si Secretary Kiko nagbigay ng rundown kung saan ito ini-launch. Napansin ko po na karamihan ito ay sa probinsya. Sa Metro Manila po ba walang murang bigas na programa?
Mr. Chair, actually, Metro Manila, lahat meron na nasa sa Kadiwa outlets. Although, kailangan lang i-expand, but lahat meron na.
Okay. I was listening kanina doon sa questioning when si Kong Benitez was asking with regards to yung funding. We have 10 billion allocated for itong Murang Bigas program. Nabanggit nyo po that there is another 8 billion, I think.
Yung meron 10 billion nakalagay sa Rice for All, tapos may 9 billion yan doon sa buying fund ng palay ng NFA. No? Plus mayroon tayong ending stocks by end of this year na 400,000 tons at 20 pesos per kilo. That is about 8 billion in value. But actually in goods na yon. Tapos meron pa tayong 5 billion na fund from the President's Contingency Fund na kaninang nasabi na sa OSEC nakatago. Kasama doon.
So for 2026, we're looking at around 30 billion for this particular
29
program.
billion.
29 billion for this particular program. Now, but the question is, would it be sustainable? Or will it fly and end during this administration? Kasi, if we see it, magandang programa, nakikinabang yung mga, yung ibang kababayan nating Pilipino, pero this is the program is highly subsidized by the national government. Paano yung continuity ng programa o yung sustainability?
Definitely, Mr. Chair, yung 20 pesos na yan, I don't think it can be sustained after mawala na si Presidente, no? Itong administrasyon. Although, tingin ko pwedeng bumaba yung subsidy, no? As we improve yung ating rice systems. Then, ang iniisip nga din namin is we will buy from the farmers at the right price at ibebenta namin at a small profit yung mga good quality rice para meron pag-subsidize sa murang bigas. That's one of yung concept ni ginagawa ng MIA natin, no? With contract farming with the farmers. Besides that, may option din tayo na yung sa import, part of it will be imported, so mas maliit yun ang cost as of the moment, but of course that's mas hindi priority yon. Kung gusto natin ma-sustain ang presyo ng bigas for a limited quantity after the administration, tingin ko maybe a peso price of rice of 29 to 32 is achievable para sa masa.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Well, I'm very happy na nabanggit mo yon, yung moves being undertaken in order to improve yung production. Dahil para sa akin po, what we need are programs which could be sustained at yung makakatulong talaga dun sa ating farming sector. Dahil pagka continuously, pag nagsasubsidize lang tayo para mapababa yung presyo ng bigas, then that's a stopgap. Hindi solusyon sa problema ng agricultural sector. Ano bang problema ng agricultural sector? Our agricultural sector faces low productivity and yields brought about by various factors. Because, first of all, the agricultural sector is dominated by smallholders. So with limited access to quality seeds, fertilizer, at saka modern farming practices. Andyan din yung problema nita dahil dahil the Philippines, because of our geographic location, we are typhoon prone. So madaming mga ani ang nasisira. Meron rin tayong one of big challenge rin is yung inadequate post-harvest facilities. So pagdating doon, kung gusto natin tulungan talaga yung mga magsasaka natin, pagdating sa post-harvest facility, may I ask, how much did we request and what have we done? Kunyari, yung mga yung mga rice mill, have we established or constructed any rice mills that will help the farmers? Ang problema ng mga magsasaka natin, ang farmers natin, naho-hostage ng trader dahil by the time umani ang mga magsasaka, ang inaani hindi naman bigas, palay eh. Pag-ani nila, pagdating ng harvest season, wala na silang pera para ipamil yung palay. So naho-hostage ng trader. Yung trader na nagpautang sa kanila para may pambili sila ng seeds, para rin meron pan-sustain sa pamilya during the planting season, mangungulekta ngayon during the harvest season, wala nang pera yung farmers na pang-meal. So napipilitan ibenta yung palay doon sa mga trader na nagpautang sa murang halaga. Now, Mr. Secretary, have we constructed any rice mills?
Yes, Mr. Chair. This year, the Marcos administration, we have 145 na rice processing systems na ang napamigay, of which 100 are operational, 45 is to be completed by November this year. So then marami pang dryers, no? Like this year yata 320 drying systems ang pinrocure at ikakabit yun. But unfortunately, kung sa computation namin, that's still less than 11%, mga 10 point something percent lang ng drying capacity natin. So ang laki pa ng kailangan natin na, that's yung 11% na yun, almost 11% is including the private sector yun.
That is because of the lack of facilities.
Lack of facilities.
So, magkano yung hiningi ho natin na allocation for this?
Well,
So that the government
sa
can
RCEF natin, 9 billion per year yan for the next 5 years. Then this year, may dagdag kaming 5 billion dun sa NFA. Moving forward, kung mababago man yung may iba yung flood control budget din, magbigay sa amin iba, hinihingi din namin madagdag yun sa aming budget sa NFA and sa mechanization for drying systems.
Well, yun po, Mr. Chair, yun po yung punto ko, Mr. Secretary, because instead of like kagaya for 2026, we are looking at 29 billion for rice subsidy para dito sa lumang bigas. But as we all know, it's not sustainable. We're not really helping the farmers in any way. We're not truly helping them. Siguro ang tulong lang na naibibigay natin sa kanila, nabibili natin yung ibang palay, pero hindi pa nga sa presyong talagang magiging masaya sila because yung cost nila of planting mataas na. But if we could invest on this post-harvest facilities, hindi lang yung sa mga sa farmers na, pati yung mga cold storage chain dahil maraming mga gulay na sisira because we also lack facilities or our farmers lack facilities kung saan may lalagay yung harvest nila. Kaya karaniwan, pagka nag-overproduce, ibebenta ng murang halaga kasi kesa mabulok.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Compute namin ngayon kung talagang ma-eliminate natin yung lahat malagyan ng drying systems, private and government, we need 286 billion. I mean, both private sector and government yun.
Baka sakto yon yung inilaan sa flood control, baka pwedeng Diyan na lang.
Hindi naman kaya ng isang taon isabay-sabay lahat yun, Mr. Chair.
Dahan-dahan ilagay dyan
Dahan-dahan.
para mapakinabangan talaga ng mga kababayan natin. But, well, finally, is there a program? Another big challenge for our farmers are
Last question, please.
access to finance and credit. Do we have any programs to help the farmers?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Meron tayong agri-censo sa Land Bank, meron agri-puhunan pangtawid sa DBP. Then we have our ACPC, credit, ACP, I forgot. Then meron doon. But ang gusto namin i-push actually, Mr. Chair, is a fund na pwedeng i-subsidize ang interest at yung equity of a loan of a farmer. So para pag umutang, I don't really believe in giving pure subsidy or cash sa mga tao or equipment Kasi mas naniniwala ako na a certain portion yung bibigay ng gobyerno pero yung karamihan nun ay kanyang taya niya para alagaan, gamitin at para yung kung maglalaan tayo ng let's say 10 billion pesos as interest subsidy and equity subsidy, that's equivalent to about 30 billion in terms of mabibiling mga gamit or even 50 billion. Depende sa percentage ng isa subsidy. So yun ang hinihingi namin actually, Mr. Chair.
Well, I totally agree with you, Mr. Secretary, dahil hindi pwedeng sinasanay rin natin yung ating mga kapwa Pilipino na puro subsidy na lang. We have to help them themselves. But it has to be through yung mutual effort. Help coming from the government. But we also have to teach our co-Filipinos, fellow Filipinos to stand on their own 2 feet. And this can only be accomplished kung hindi puro dole-outs yung binibigay natin sa mga tao And I hope that later on, with the help of the other members of Congress, kagaya ng sinabi ko, what we want is a sustainable program for the farmers. And let's build those facilities to really help the farmers. Then we will be able to bring the price of agricultural goods down. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Representative Sunday. Now we go to the majority. I just have to call. I know some of them are not here anymore. Representative Baronda, Representative Rodriguez, Representative Acosta. So now I see here we go to Representative Adjong. You are now recognized.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Magandang hapon po, Mr. Secretary. Recently, the ASEAN Briefing Magazine, the official gazette of the ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, came out with a report giving importance on the emerging industry of halal. The issues that were raised and that were reflected in this report, Mr. Chair, is number one, the expanding market of the halal industry and the increasing demand in halal food manufacturing industry, Mr. Chair. Basically, what the report says that globally, halal industry represents $4.5 trillion. That's why many countries, not necessarily Muslim countries, are also investing heavily in halal industry. Mr. Chair, I noticed, Mr. Secretary, based on your NEP and from the GAA of last year, the budget for halal was the same. There's no increase from that of the GAA 2025 and that of the NEP 2026. My question, Mr. Secretary, is do you have any plan of expanding halal industry in this country? Because according to the Office of the International Economic Relations of the DFA, as part, we will be chairing the ASEAN this year, they have our country committed that we will invest heavily on halal. And the President himself mentioned halal industry as one of his top priorities in the recent State of the Nation address. So your department, Mr. Secretary, is very crucial and very important in making sure that this commitment will be a success. So I'd ask you, since there's no increase in the budget, do you have any plans of expanding the halal industry in this country?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Ang problema natin sa halal natin is yung local halal accredited, yung nag-accredit ng halal dito, hindi sila rin-recognize ng karamihan sa mga other, parang kung yung local Philippine halal certification,